and President Trump is going to draw a sharp contrast with Kamala Harris, who has supported things like decriminalizing illegal immigration or giving taxpayer-funded health insurance to illegal aliens or taking away health insurance on the job for 170 million Americans, banning gas cars, confiscating firearms.
These are all what do you mean taking away health insurance? What are you talking about?
She said when she ran for president that she wants to eliminate private health insurance on the job for 170 million Americans, John.
Yeah, I mean that is not her position now.
How do you know that's not her position?
That's Republican Senator Tom Cotton educating an ABC political shill on the insane progressive policies of Kamala Harris. Welcome to Nerk News. I'm Nerkish, and establishment media is really doing everything in its power to hide just how radical their new boss is from the American public. Not only have they lied and ran cover about her record, they've gushed over her manufactured social media popularity and even praised her for having no policy and avoiding interviews. Now, they're trying to paint her as a moderate, but thankfully we have people like Tom Cotton to call him out on it.
How do you know that's not her position?
I mean, she says she no longer supports Medicare for all.
She has not said that. Okay. Maybe anonymous aides on a Friday night have said that, but the last thing that she said on
this was not a radical convention. I mean, she as you heard me go through with Bernie Sanders, she is not taking the positions of the far left of her party. She's clearly making an effort to move to the middle.
I did hear what you said to Senator Sanders, and I thought it was clear that he's very disappointed that she's taking these efforts not to change her positions, but to hide her positions, John. The American people are totally justified to conclude that Kamala Harris is a dangerous San Francisco liberal based on what she campaigned on the last time she ran for president and what this administration has done for the last 4 years. Again, you would have thought watching the Democratic convention last week that the Democrats are not in office, that they're not in power, that they're campaigning against an incumbent Republican, when in reality, she's been part of the failures of the Biden-Harris administration for 4 years. And when she campaigned for president, in her own right, she did in fact promise things like decriminalizing illegal immigration and taking away health insurance.
But that's a position she's clearly changed on, and she has said she has changed. Yes, she has.
No, she has not. John, she has not said that.
You know, Tom Cotton really is great at this kind of stuff. I personally find it amusing how the left will always assume the worst interpretation of everything Trump says, but don't do the same for Kamala Harris. When he joked about being dictator for a day, they ignored the context and subsequent interviews of him explaining it was a joke to fearmonger and push political slogans like, when someone tells you who they are, you should believe them. And this kind of stuff happens all the time. Just look at the DNC. A lot of it was about Project 2025, something Trump has openly denounced 7 times already, and they still ran with it as if he was the one who created it. Yet, for some reason, Kamala Harris is granted this grace period where we're just supposed to ignore everything she said in her political career, especially when she ran for president 4 years ago.
Under my plan of Medicare for All, private insurance companies will be able to provide coverage if they play by our rules. And therefore, what that means in a very important way is that you don't have to be wed to your employer to keep the insurance you like and that you need.
What you have to convince voters of is that, yes, they may be able to keep a private insurance, but it's not their private insurance, correct?
No, they get to make the choice.
No, because you're basically allowing for a Medicare Advantage plan where insurers can enter that plan and they can choose it if they want to. But if you're getting insurance from GM, from your employer, you will not be able to keep that, correct?
You will have 10 years to transition. The insurer who has partnered with GM is going to then have the opportunity to compete in my Medicare for All plan. And so you as the consumer can choose under my Medicare for All plan to have a public plan, a government-sponsored plan, or a private plan. And this is the great thing about my Medicare for All plan, which is this. People are going to have to compete. Private insurers are going to have to compete. And those that have the best plans will have you sign up.
But it's a private plan, not necessarily your private plan. There's no guarantee that your private plan will be part of that.
Well, if you decide that your private plan is your employer's private plan as opposed to the plan you want to choose for yourself, then perhaps you're right.
Yeah, call me crazy, but that doesn't sound like a one-off thing to me. I mean, healthcare is a huge issue in America. This isn't something that was created as an afterthought. She did multiple interviews discussing and doubling down on this. It's insane how Democrats keep trying to play this game where they treat every single flip-flop she's made as if it's her growing as a candidate or a person, like they do whenever they inevitably cave on social issues for political capital. The fact of the matter here is that Harris isn't a moderate. She's bragged about being woke, she's bragged about being radical, plus she has the track record to prove it. And even if she was honestly trying to move to the center, the fact that she's so fickle should be a huge red flag for voters and something the media should talk about. But let me know what you think. Is Kamala Harris really a moderate? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. This stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nerk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!